like to welcome the Snohomish United 09 RL team. We also have a pop-up stand for some of the grip socks that the players are using. In a few moments, we will announce the team rosters, but before so, we'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors. 5 Star Landscaping, providing landscaping services all across Snohomish and King County. Couch Kings, specializing in couches for local furniture needs. El Parizo, located in Monroe, Washington, is a locally owned Mexican restaurant. And our very own co-owner, Angel Herrera, with local real estate agent Keller Williams Realty. We are excited to announce that the team uniforms are designed by Applied Pressure Printing. After the game, we would also like to welcome all the fans to join us on the field to take photos with all the players after the game. Please enjoy the game, and we will announce the players momentarily. Announcing the Oly-Pen Force roster. Number 13, Francesco Barras. Number 36, Scott Breeding. Number 3, Corey Burberry. Number 31, Pepe De Luna. Number 26, Izzy De Luna. Number 10, Alejandro Hernandez. Number 30, Raul Izal. Number 4, Cole Jarrett. Number 11, Kyle Johnson. Number 44, Landon Kirby. Number 34, Damani McKenna. Number 19, Micah McGonigal. Number 17, Jonathan Mendoza. Number 7, Michael Nation.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first round of the playoffs of the WISL, where number 6 Oly-Pen Force is coming into Everett City to take on the Everett City FC, rated number 3. Winner of this game will move on to play in Tacoma next week, as Tacoma is a number 1 with a first round bye. The other game going on tonight is South Sound FC versus the Oly-Town Artesians. Winner of that game will move on to play the Bellingham United at number 2. In goal today is not going to be Michael Herrera, who we have seen in the last two, but will actually be Giovanni Castillo. He has played for the Everett City team this year. Everett City is going to have a very strong defensive standing as on the Oly-Pen team with 15 goals and 19 assists. His Golden Boot winner, Izzy DeLuna. He will be a big threat today for this Everett City team. Action already starting off early with the ball switching zones quickly. Oly-Pen coming in strong. Edgar Tavares with the ball sends it deep down towards the red line. Unfortunately, unable to get it to Manuel Segura. Picked up by Oly-Town. Oly-Pen having possession of the ball, passing back and forth at the halfway line as Fernando Tavares is up front with Manuel Segura, trying to pressure this Oly team in. As soon as Izzy gets the ball down low off the wall, it is kicked out the way by a tag team of Jesus Rodriguez and Fernando Tavares. Well, for the first minute passing, there's already been a few chances on the Everett City goal. Ultimately, not what we want to see, but a great steal here from Jesus Rodriguez. Unfortunately, he's unable to secure the ball as it is picked up by Gil Navarro of the Oly-Pen. In goal for Oly-Pen is Landon Kirby. And here comes a chance. Fernando with the chance. Oh, it's picked up. Manuel Segura gets the shot off. Unable to do it, though. Wasn't able to get in. It's picked up by Jesus Rodriguez. There was a good challenge at the wall there with Fernando Tavares getting it to number 11, Manuel Segura. Unfortunately, too many bodies in the way, unable to find anything. Oly-Pen getting the ball, pressured by Everett City. Diego staying on the man as the through ball is played. Leo Jarameo has to pick up the man. Ball stuck at the midfield, has to give it back to their keeper. Number 11, Johnson, having possession of the ball. Kyle Johnson sends it down. Eduardo Rocha off the wall. Diego unable to get there, sticks with his man. Here comes Izzy DeLuna with the ball. We mentioned he has more assists than he has goals, but he's dangerous either way on this offensive zone. Victor picks him up early. Glenn Patton with the steal, able to get it off. Gives it over to Diego. Diego down the line, kicks off the wall, just past Kyle Johnson. City with the ball. Victor had a chance, unable to get it. It is picked up by Oly-Pen. Leo now with the ball, sending it over to Eduardo Rocha. Rocha gives it over to Castillo. Sending it up through to Fernando. He's quickly out-muscled by Gil Navarro. Ball comes down. Shot taken by number 10. He receives the pass. Two great stops there by Gio. And Antonio Latino able to get the ball at center. This is going to slow it down for the Everett City team. Great positioning there for Gio. Gets down. The defender stays on the man. And two chances there were thwarted by Gio. Both of those coming from Alejandro Hernandez. Gio with possession. Gives it over to Edgar. Edgar Tavares sends it back over to Gio as Hernandez coming quick. Gio sends it forward through the wall. It's played over to Fernando. Unfortunately, Fernando is unable to get it. Here comes a chance for Jesus. Had a couple chances there. Unfortunately, was unable to get it. The defensive standing so far from both teams has been electric. This is going to be a hard, low-scoring game from the looks of it. As Gio gives the ball away, unfortunately, Mark Gradados wasn't able to get it, but he was able to give the ball back over to Edgar. Edgar gives it over to Gio. Cross over to Fernando. Fernando at the wall, being two-teamed. He has Gil Navarro on him, and Gio sends the ball forward. It's picked up by Gil Navarro. Gil gives it back over to Alejandro. Edgar was able to get there first. 3 Everett City jerseys are back. Gio has the ball, sends it forward. Gil again with the ball. Mark Granados goes up and flips completely. He is hurt. He smacked his head on the ground. He was flipped completely. Completely undercut. And there is an injury. Gio absolutely doing everything he can to play this ball. He goes up and he's just completely flipped there.
Hey, listen up, listen up. Hey, listen up. So, this out set up. Go straight out the ball. This guy's coming deep. Leave this middle area open, and then. Vamos! Vamos! There we go. Sí, sí.
Everett City with the ball in the corner after the injury. Edgar has it. He gives it to Gio. Gio sends it to Manuel Segura, who plays at the wall. Leo is able to collect the ball, gives it over to Edgar. Edgar looking for the pass. Sends it deep downfield, and it is stolen. However, looks like Diego was able to get the ball back. Big shot here just inside the red line from Leo Jaramillo. Oly-Pen with the ball on a run. Izzy DeLuna sends it backwards. Oly-Pen is able to penetrate deep into the Everett zone. Jesus Rodriguez is on him. Several bodies there. Ball stays in play. Does not go out. It is picked up by number 4. That is Jarrett. Manuel Segura with a shot and a goal! Manuel Segura strikes first for the Everett City team. So after the steal from Oly-Pen, Everett gets it back and runs it in for a score. Crowd is being absolutely electric tonight. Let's take a look at this again. Being able to get it at the wall. Goes just inside with a great screen from Glenn Damani McKinnon with a quick chance there for Oly-Pen. Unfortunately, unable to do it. Tipped before going across the red line by Victor. Victor Aguilar comes back. Burbridge is behind Vic. He seems to be the man that they want to get the ball to today for Oly-Pen. However, Everett's not letting him have a chance. Fernando is able to get the ball from Antonio Ladino. Everett City with the ball. Eduardo Rocha dishes it back to Victor Aguilar. Victor gives it across field over to Fernando. Fernando's picked up by Alejandro Hernandez. Has to give it back to Gio. Gio gives it to Manuel Segura. Gets it. Able just to get it past. The boys are able to work past this crazy fast attack. Ball sent deep. And he is brought down by number 7. Everett City's looking for a blue card as looks like Fernando Tavares is down. Still hurt at the wall. Brilliant play to send it across just inside the red line as it looks like he gets shoved by number 7. That's Michael Nation. That is 2 players now, unfortunately, down and hurt for the Everett City team. Both of which having been from heads. And looks like Fernando is able to get back up and continue playing. So it's going to be Everett City's ball. At the top of the box is number 11, Manuel Segura. Glenn Patton coming in for Fernando Tavares. Edgar going to take the ball. He has several options as there is a 4-man wall. And the kick is too high. The play was set up there, but Manuel Segura was unable to get a second goal early. We have 7 minutes and 38 seconds left. A big through ball played over to Hernandez. Alejandro Hernandez off the wall, quickly taken away by the Everett team. Antonio Latino, big collision as he goes down, and a foul will be played on Oly-Pen. Everett's ball out the red line. Victor Aguilar going to take the ball. Sends it over to Gio. Gio is looking for a man, gets it to, looks like Manuel Segura. Back to Gio, over to Victor. Victor playing it deep. Back to Gio, back to Victor. Alejandro Hernandez is fighting very hard, trying to find a steal inside the offensive zone. And now Brian Weatherington. Gio getting it to the red line, still tipped in, but that one looks like Gil Navarro. And a goal comes from Alejandro Hernandez. The score now tied with 6:43. Everett was pressured deep there, unable to get it. Looks like Alejandro just able to get up enough to take a deep strike. Gio went the other way, and unfortunately, that is going to tie up the score. Everett now back with the ball. Fernando gives it over to Leo. Leo gives it back to Gio. Gio up to Fernando. Fernando plays it in for Eduardo Rocha with a little contact. However, there is no foul called. And Antonio Latino looks like he stopped a through pass, forcing it deep. And 3-line penalty will be called on the keeper as he tried to get it to Izzy DeLuna, but he was just inside the red line. Everett City having the ball at the red line. Antonio Latino comes up to take it. Rolls it over to Diego Alvarado. Shot taken. Unfortunately, nothing comes of it. It's picked up by Fernando Tavares. Sent back across through. Gio picks the ball up. Gio sends it deep inside, and Landon Kirby's going to pick it up. Throws it deep towards center. Alejandro Hernandez. He sends a through ball off the wall, and Eduardo Rocha able to get there and tip it. Alejandro with a header, however. Confusion as the ball rolls across the field. Everett goes away without letting another goal in right now. Diego and Fernando, number 9 and number 8, sending themselves forward, trying to stop the through play. Unfortunately, it gets to the center. Antonio Latino with the ball, sends it back over. Eduardo Rocha at the wall, catches an elbow, and a foul is called. Foul on number Everett City. They are much smaller than this Oly-Pen team. However, we don't like to see any time any player gets hit in the head. So far, all have been able to come back, however, as a ball is played in and through. Big confusion there. Couple chances, and Everett City's not able to get it. Jesus Rodriguez is wondering why there was no foul for being shoved, but he was in a shooting motion. There is confusion at the wall. Victor Aguilar able to get the ball through, though. Gets it back over to Manuel Segura. Pace slowing down a little bit. Everett looking for another couple chances. Gio sends it to the corner. Manuel Segura picks it up. Ball is sent back and cleared by Oly-Pen Force. Jesus Rodriguez with the ball. 4 minutes and 21 seconds left. Jesus Rodriguez sends it through off the wall to Manuel Segura. Manuel Segura keeping himself off of his defender. Gets it back over to Edgar Tavares. Tavares sends it over to Aguilar. Aguilar brings it back to his red line. Gives it over to Diego Alvarado. Diego sends it through. Glenn Patton with a big shove in the back, and that's a foul on Michael Nation. Big foul here. Glenn Patton clearly upset with that shove. Several shoves being had as both sides are now coming to the center. Refs are breaking it up. Everett City clearly upset over this. Michael Nation on the ground from the shove. Big collision between the two. Both these teams know what their entire seasons are on the line here. Everett City will remain with possession of the ball. Ollie trying to figure out who their fifth man is as number 34 comes on for Michael Nation. So Damani McKinnon will come in. Edgar Tavares with the ball. Sees Leo on a run, but gives it over to Diego instead. Diego going to send it back to Edgar. Edgar and Diego working back into their own defensive zone. Gio went out wide. Antonio Latino fighting at the wall for it. Unable to get it, and Landon Kirby picks it up, rolls it over to his defender, sends it on a through ball. And it looks like for the Force, it's going to be number 34 with the shot as Gio easily wraps it up. Looking for a man, gives it over to Edgar. Leo with the ball going down the line, gives it over to Antonio Latino. Sends it all the way back to Gio. That was a chance there. If he had a better strike, Gio would have had a hard time with that ball. Thankfully, he's able to skillfully get it. Fernando playing at the wall with the ball. He's being guarded by the much taller Gil Navarro. Diego gives the ball back over to Edgar. Edgar gives it over to Fernando. Fernando coming through. There's a slide! Gil Navarro gets the foul off of a slide. Everett's ball at the half line. Gil Patton with the ball in the center. Gives it back over to Edgar. Edgar Tavares with the ball, sends it through. Gil Patton sends it outside to Leo. Leo with a big shot, hits the face of Alejandro Hernandez. He goes down as he took the strike to the face. He is currently down.
Hey, listen up, listen.
And he is able to get back up. Thankfully, no major injuries so far in this game for either side. Izzy DeLuna all the way back, essentially inside the goal. Victor Aguilar wondering if this is okay as he has to now stay back with Gio. Ollie Force with the ball. Glenn Patton trying really hard to get the ball back. Francesco Barras over to Kirby. Kirby through the center to number 2 who kicked it out wide. That is Brian Witherington that sends the ball out wide. 1 minute 31 seconds are left in this first. It is tied 1-1 still. It has been quite the eventful first quarter. Here comes a charge as Gio has to send the ball deep inside. Does tap inside the neutral zone, so there will not be a 3-line penalty there. However, Ollie Force picks up the ball. Glenn Patton with the ball, sends it through. Manuel Segura has a chance. Unfortunately, it just went wide. Ollie Force with the ball. Number 13 able to get the ball forward. Both defenders for Everett ran back deep as number 3 Corey Burbridge was on a run there. Thankfully, Everett got back. Izzy DeLuna with the ball, dishes out over to number 33. That is Brandon Scott. Played at the wall. Eduardo Rocha with a grab and goes down. Foul is going to be on number 3. That's Corey Burbridge with a foul. Everett with the ball with 35 seconds and 0.6 milliseconds on the clock. Everett with the ball, and a blue card was shown. So Everett will be up a man for 35 seconds currently, and then going into the second quarter with a 1 minute 25-second power play as well. This is going to be crucial to capitalize if you are City. Seeing how this game has gone, goals are going to be a scarcity. They have to find a way to score while up a man. Jesus over to Victor. Victor over to Fernando. Fernando back over to Jesus. Back over to Fernando. Back over to Vic. Trying to find an opening. Glenn Paladin moving around, trying to find where he's going to be open. Fakes over to Manuel Segura, then eventually does give it to him. Manuel Segura at the wall is being attacked by Michael Nation, and the ball rolls all the way back. Gio picks it up, runs in, deep shot from Gio. Would have been on target if it wasn't for Michael Nation, and it's going to end 1-1 at the end of the first.
Hey, listen up. Hey, listen up. So, this out set up, go straight out the ball, these guys coming deep. Keep this middle area open, and then
Vamos! Vamos! There we go. Sí, sí.
So going into the second, while the score will be tied, there's also a minute 25 for a Everett City power play where they will be up a man. Again, these are crucial moments as both teams are having outstanding defensive standing so far. Number 6, Oly-Pen Force are not indeed playing like a number 6. Instead, they are fighting tooth and nail, knowing everything is on the line, just as it is for Everett City. Switching sides now, Landon Kirby will be in on your right, and Gio Castello will be on your left. Glenn Patton with the ball at center as Everett City are back with all of their 5. Jarrett, Hernandez, DeLuna, and Nation are out for the power play. Jesus over to Manuel Segura. Manuel waiting with Jarrett in front of him. Gives it back over to Jesus. Back over to Victor. Victor gives it all the way to Segura. Segura back to Victor. With a fake shot there, he sends it back up top. Looking for a new route in. Fernando getting the ball. Has to dish it back to the center, though. Looks like Jarrett is coming up very strong in the defense right now as they are playing 2 men on any ball carrier at any given time. Manuel Segura with a shot. Goes off what could have been the arm or shoulder of Hernandez. No handball is called. And Vic with a chance off the wall, unfortunately unable to get it. And now Jarrett on a tear down the field for Ollie Force. Manuel Segura able to get in between him and the ball and gives it back to Gio. Gio back to Fernando. 20 seconds left on this power play. Fernando over to Jesus. Jesus over to Victor Aguilar. Aguilar over to Tavares with a shot. Glenn Patton with a second chance off the wall and unable to get it. Kirby sending the ball deep. 5 seconds left, headed by Jesus. Jesus gives it over to Victor. Victor back to Fernando. Fernando on a through over to Diego. Diego wanted to take a shot. 3 defenders in his way. Jesus down over to Tavares, through the center to Fernando. Fernando kicks it back over to Rodriguez. Jesus Rodriguez gives it over to Gio. Keeper sends it through. Edgar with the ball, gives it back over to Diego at the wall. Diego gives it back to Victor halfway. And that through ball was thwarted by Cole Jarrett. Cole Jarrett on the power play all over the neutral zone right now. Diego with the ball, gives it back over to Gio. Gio's man unable to get there. He has to send it deep to Diego. Diego gets a bad touch. It goes up. However, he keeps the ball with a strike. Unable to get it. Ball was up, headed away. Ball goes up, and Scott for Ollie Force is going to send it to the top net. That's going to be Everett's ball. Edgar gives it over to Fernando, who gets it over to Latino, loses it because Alejandro Hernandez takes it. However, City regains possession in the neutral zone. Michael Nation on Edgar, sends it into Antonio. Collision in, Michael Nations wanted it. Kirby, unable to use his hands, kicks it away. Fernando picks up the ball, gives it back over to Edgar at the middle. Over to Diego. Diego almost losing possession, but able to get it to Leo. Leo is stopped by Izzy DeLuna. Antonio Latino able to get there. Michael Nation at the wall, being stopped. And a foul coming Antonio Latino as Michael Nation cannot stay up and goes down at the wall. Corner for Ollie. Ollie get the ball through center. Number 3 going to take it. Send it forward to Gil Navarro. Raul gave it to Navarro, who sent it back forward. It is number 3, Corey Burbridge. Gio able to get the ball, though, from that shot off by Burbridge. Glenn Padden tips it in with a header. Almost didn't even need to jump for it. He's so much taller than some of these defenders. Ball back over to Per City. Leo and Edgar playing center with Antonio. Big fight at the wall. Antonio able to get the ball back to Leo. Leo gives it over to Manuel Segura. Manuel Segura fakes inside, gives it over to Glenn Padden. Then he comes back out to Manuel Segura. Sends it back across to Leo. Raul and Hernandez of Oly-Pen Force playing forward. Here comes Burbridge. Forcing Gio to send it in deep. And it looks like Leo at the wall. He's fighting for it. Unable to get it, though. Big fight between Johnson and Leo at the wall. Glenn Padden able to get it. Plays it off the wall. Raul gets a kick. Leo still with the ball. Gives it over to Edgar. Edgar sends it to Antonio. Antonio gets it back to Manuel Segura in the center. Manuel Segura tried to find a way around Alejandro Hernandez. Was unable to. Has to give it to Gio. Gio gave it back to him. Victor Aguilar off the shift. Comes inside on a run. Here we go. Fakes the shot. Gives it back to Edgar Tavares. Edgar Tavares sends it across. Out of play. Was looking for number 8, Fernando Tavares. What a strike that was across the field. Gil Navarro with the ball. 10 minutes and 8 seconds in the second. Gil sends it back over to Landon Kirby. Kirby with it. Sends it over to his other defender, Scott. Big fight at the ball. Looks like Jesus Rodriguez unable to get it away from number 34, Damon McKenna. Big strike there. Couple stops so far. One cross field here. Everett not allowing a goal just yet, but cannot let go of the pressure. Here comes number 9, Diego. Kirby tries, sends the ball away. It's going to be a 2-man team between Scott and McKenna. McKenna with the ball going down the center. Gives it over to DeLuna. DeLuna gives it over. Gil with a shot. Goes high and out of play, though. Ollie wants to quickly pick up the speed. Everett instead trying to slow it down. Gio with the ball from the kick in. Back to Victor. Back to Gio. Eduardo Rocha running down the middle of the field, except it's going the other way to Fernando Tavares. Fernando gives it back to Diego. Cross field over to Gio. Victor inside the corner. He's going to pick up the wall. Going to be defended by Hernandez. Gives it over to Eduardo Rocha. Rocha sends it through to Tavares. Fernando with the ball. He's going to send it back up over to Eduardo, who's going to send it back over to Vic. Alejandro playing high. Jesus with the ball, sends it through 2 defenders, gives it to Diego. Diego with a couple chances, takes a shot, unable to get it. Jesus at the wall, takes the ball, sends it through 3, over to Diego. Diego with a strike. It's just too hard for him to get. It goes high, and Fernando has to pick up the ball, sends it back over to Victor. Victor Aguilar decides to give it to Gio. Gio going to give it over to Jesus as he's going to be guarded by Francisco Barajas. Antonio Latino comes on for the Jesus Rodriguez. Manuel Segura getting the ball away from the defenders. Back to Victor. Victor with a deep red line strike. Unfortunately, keeper got his hands on. Eduardo Rocha able to get the steal. Victor Aguilar with another chance. Sends it through the center. Gives it to Antonio Latino. Antonio with the ball. Sends it over to Manuel Segura as they have to force Everett City back. Everett City. Fernando comes off and Glenn Patton comes on. Victor Aguilar gives it back over to Gio. Gio back over to Victor. Victor on a deep run. Several defenders. Gives it back over to Antonio Latino. Sends across field. Manuel Segura. Manuel Segura going corner. Takes a shot. Defended hard by Hernandez. Alejandro Hernandez gets it deep. However, it's going to be Eduardo Rocha maintaining possession. Glenn Patton with the ball. He's going to send it all the way back to Gio. Gio's going to send it over to Manuel Segura. Segura over to Jarameo. Leo with the ball now on a through pass to Glenn. Glenn with the ball. Takes the strike himself. Landon Kirby was just able to get it. Landon Kirby is not feeling it. He was hurt. What an absolute powerhouse strike that was from Glenn. Look at this through ball being played in by Leo. He gets it, rolls it over to the side, and Glenn just takes a strike. Nothing wrong with this play. 100% clean. Just was not a comfortable position for that save. Landon Kirby still down. His teammates stretching him out, getting him some water, making sure he's going to be okay as he's been a crucial part of their defense so far. 6 minutes and 56 seconds are left in the second quarter as it's still tied 1-1. It will be Oly-Pen force with the ball. And Kirby looks like he's going to be able to get back up and continue playing. What an absolute stinger that shot must have been from the power of Glenn's right leg. Kirby telling his team that he is okay. We will continue to play. Edgar Tavares with the ball gives it over to Gio in their own zone. Beluna was charging deep as Edgar's going to get the ball. However, he tried to get it out to Leo. Antonio Latino with 2 men on him. Still maintains possession through 2 defenders with a chance at a kick there, blocked by Jared. Now Manuel Segura with the ball as he's got 2 defenders on him. Ball played through center. Glenn Patton able to keep his man back. It gets it over to Leo Jarameo. Leo on a through ball. And it's kicked out and out of play. Gil Navarro sending the ball out of play. It's going to be the top of the line for Everett City. Oly-Pen making the wall. At the post, Gil Patton and Leo Jarameo. Edgar Tavares with possession of the ball. Wine jumps. Manuel Segura just wide. Jesus Rodriguez, Glenn Patton, both had chances at a shot. Unfortunately, unable to score. Everett City with possession. They are going to send the ball back. Couple close strikes recently for Everett City as they've picked up the pace offensively. Jesus Rodriguez unable to get the header, but able to get the ball away from number 36 of Oly-Fours. That is Scott Breeding. Ball is sent down by number 4. That's going to be Cole Jarrett. Cole Jarrett playing defensively. Gio able to get the ball, sends it through. And number 36, Scott Breeding, sending it deep. Gio's going to pick it up at the wall. Now using his hands, throws it on a deep pass to Fernando Tavares. Fernando is shoved over the top of the ball. That's another foul on Gil Navarro. Everett City with a chance. Jesus Rodriguez with the ball. Sends it back forward. Victor Aguilar over to Edgar Tavares. Jesus on a run inside. Ball's given over to Diego. Diego steps over the ball, sends it back over to Victor Aguilar. Victor Aguilar giving it to Fernando Tavares, sending it back over to Diego. Diego fakes a red line strike, gives it over to Jesus, sent inside. Ball is picked up by Fernando Tavares, able to keep it between two defenders all the way back into the corner. Now the entire team, it feels like, is on the corner. Izzy DeLuna with possession of the ball. He dishes out over to Gil Navarro. I thought there should have been a chance for Diego Alvarado to have a goal there. That's a 3-line foul as the entirety of City's bench raises their hand for the 3-line foul. Everett City with the ball, 4 minutes and 6 seconds are all that remain in this first half. Edgar with it, sends it over to Diego. Goes a little too far. Diego has to pick it up off the wall, sends it back over. Gil Navarro looking for it. Alejandro as well. Two teaming on Edgar. Edgar sent the ball in. Header. Antonio Latino picks it up red line. He fakes a pass over to Victor Aguilar. Sends it across. Alejandro Hernandez able to chest it away from what could have been a one-on-one strike for Edgar Tavares. Quick chance there. Just goes wide. Gio was down, ready to play it either way. And looks like Tavares is going to get it away from Alejandro Hernandez. And Corey Burbridge looking for another man to help him. Unable to find it. Victor Aguilar with the chance. What a steal. Corey Burbridge and then Landon Kirby on the defense. Antonio Latino getting there, allowing Diego Alvarado to pick up the ball at the wall. Now it is a 2-on-1. Diego getting away with the shot through the center. Victor Aguilar takes another. Then here comes Diego. Unfortunately unable to score. What an incredible chance that was. What an incredible chance. The two-man squad coming in, unable to score. And Edgar Tavares now with the ball, sends it over to Fernando. Fernando takes a shot, unable to get it as his defender's there. Quick shove on Edgar Tavares, however he stays up. Francesco Barras forcing the defense back. Victor Aguilar at the wall. What absolute chances those were. Vital potentially for the City team. Hopefully not their last. Here comes Victor Aguilar on through to the center. Oh, and it does not amount to anything. He was looking for the centered man, Antonio Latino. Ball went high, unfortunately, unable to be played. Francesco getting the ball for Oly-Pen. However, Everett City back. Here comes Diego yet again. Diego with a strike, just wide. Diego will have more chances in this game. Don't mind that. And there's a big foul. Antonio Latino given a blue card, and that's going to be an Oly-Pen force power play. 2 minutes and 7 seconds. Everett City has to finish this half on a power play. 7 seconds will be left on the clock when they can go back up a man. City is unhappy with the call, and Antonio Latino himself could not believe that he was shown a card for that. This is only the second power play, as it's going to be Alejandro Hernandez giving it to Izzy DeLuna. Leo and Eduardo Rocha both up front. Quick chance from Hernandez. Comes of nothing. Tavares and Aguilar in the back. The four men that Everett City have sent out are some of their best defenders. In fact, all four are defenders for this team. Gio protecting the post. Looks like Gil Navarro is sitting inside the middle. Izzy DeLuna. Golden Boot winner gives it over to Scott. Gio with his foot and a stop by Victor Aguilar. Gil Navarro gets the ball out. However, no goals the second time there. Victor Aguilar getting the ball. Izzy DeLuna forces it wide, but Victor Aguilar forcing them to reset, giving a break for this Everett City team. Minute and 13 seconds left on the clock. Alejandro Hernandez gives it to Izzy DeLuna. Scott with the chance here. Stopped by Eduardo Rocha. Victor with the ball. Sends it in deep. Leo Jaramillo running down the line. Kirby with it. Empty net. And a big shove. Everett City looking for a foul. No foul will be getting. There should have been a foul on DeLuna. I apologize. On Landon Kirby as he shoved Leo Jaramillo at the wall. None will be given on the keeper, though, and we continue with this power play. 38 seconds remain. That was a big chance for Leo Jaramillo there, and this Everett City team. Gio sending the ball wide. What an absolute stop by our keeper there. 24 seconds left. 15 seconds on the power play. Strike! And scooped up by Gio! Not allowing Gil Navarro a chance. Ball sent deep. Izzy DeLuna and Leo Jaramillo. Kirby able to send it out wide. Scott sends it forward to Hernandez for the Ollie force. And here comes 7 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. And that is going to end this first half. Still tied 1-1. What an absolute electrifying chance this was. Let's look at that shot again. Gio getting a leg there, stopping it down low and able to wrap it up with his hands. That could be the save of this game so far. What an absolute beautiful strike that was. We will be back with you after this 15-minute halftime. And starting off the third quarter, Everett City with the ball, however, incredibly being pressed right off the bat. 7 seconds in, and already there have, looks like 3 men into the zone trying to get a steal. Eduardo Rocha able to pick the ball up at the line. And easily sent away by Burbridge. Looks like Gil Navarro running down the line with it. Gil Navarro picks it back up. Jason Fairhurst is on him. There is a double team there between Rocha and Fairhurst. And Gil Navarro is down and hurt. And there is going to be a timeout called. Sorry, not a timeout. An injury is being called. Gil Navarro is holding his quad. Hopefully it is just a cramp. Gil is able, under his own pressure, to get back to his own bench. So hopefully we will see him back into this game. Eduardo Rocha will be the one with the ball in his own defensive corner. 14-17 left to play in the third quarter. Gio all the way at the halfway line. Gives it over to Eduardo. Eduardo sends it over to Diego. Diego inside the red line. Gives it over to Jesus Rodriguez. Rodriguez over to Rocha. Rocha with possession. Gives it back over to Jesus. Looks like it's going to be Brian Weatherington coming in. Big collision in the center. And a foul is called. Everett City will get the ball at the red line. I'm sorry, at the top of the box. And Rodriguez takes it. What a strike! Goal from Diego! Number 9 finally getting on the board after so many tries. He gets the first, opening up the scoring in this half. It's 2-1 Everett City. What an absolute beautiful show this was. Just quick tap over to Diego, and what a strike. 13:38 still to play in the third, and already Everett has a goal. Manuel Segura in the center is defending number 31. That is Pepe de Luna. And Edgar with Izzy de Luna at the wall. Unable to completely clear it. Izzy de Luna across. And what a chance that was from Michael Nation. Gio easily able to use his hands, scoop it up. And big header, but it goes out on Fernando. Oly-Pen with possession of the ball. Michael Nation going to take it at the red line. Sent back and forth, Michael Nation being guarded by Fernando Tavares. Jason Fairhurst comes up. Ball is played into Izzy de Luna as Leo Jaramillo is with him. Fernando Tavares with the steal. Izzy de Luna able to get the tackle twice now. And a big foul being called. Izzy de Luna slides into the legs of Edgar Tavares. And a blue card will be shown on de Luna. So Edgar Tavares was completely slide tackled and able to get back up now under his own pressure. But a big foul that was. Blue card being shown to Izzy de Luna. That means Everett is not only now up a goal, but also for the next 2 minutes will be up a man. Gio with possession of the ball. Referees taking care of the proper bookings. 12:31 left. This first 3 minutes has already been extremely eventful. Gio gives over to Jesus Rodriguez. Sends it on a through play to Victor Aguilar. Victor plays the corner to Fernando. Victor gets the ball back. Sends it across field between two defenders over to Diego. Diego already with the goal starting this half. Victor getting the ball from Rodriguez. He sends it back over to Alvarado. And Fernando with the ball, unable to get a complete touch of it. And Jesus Rodriguez is going to be the one to maintain possession. Glenn Padden comes back. Ball goes all the way back to Gio in the neutral zone. Victor with the ball. Glenn Padden in the center, looking for a potential through chance. Diego with it. Jesus faking a shot, gives it over to Victor Aguilar. Vic sends it inside to Diego. Diego off the wall center. And a goal! That is the second goal of the quarter for this Everett City, ending the power play at 1:15 left as Fernando Tavares makes it 3-1. Take a look at this absolute beautiful play. Played through off the wall perfectly. Just a one-time touch off of a volley from Fernando. Absolute poetry with the ball. And looks like Oly-Force is going to have the ball. Shot taken. It's high off the wall. Going to be picked up by number 34. Leo falls down, no fouls being called, and another called later on number 34. That's Damon McKenna. 11:15, it is going to be Everett City's ball. Gio takes it from Eduardo, gives it back. Eduardo gives it back over to Gio. Gio back over to Eduardo as they move through the neutral zone. Sent forward over to Leo at the corner. Leo is unable to stay up. It's going to be Alejandro with it. And Leo with a big shove getting a foul. Well, looks like Alejandro was just off balance playing the ball. And Leo gets the arm extended. And that's going to be a classic shove booking every single time. And Jason Fairhurst working with Jesus Rodriguez. Keeping the ball in the Everett City offensive zone. Manuel Segura fighting at the wall. Ball comes out with a foul will be called. Believe for a handball. Glenn Patton comes on for Fairhurst as it's Oly-Pen forces ball. They send it over to Brian Wetherington, who sends it back to his defender, heavily defended by Glenn Patton. Johnson gives it over to Kirby. Patton trying to find a steal as Gill is going to be the one to get the ball with Manuel Segura on him. Gets it over to Brian Wetherington, who sends it deep. Glenn Patton able to get the steal. Big wrap around. Glenn Patton going to get the foul for the shove. Glenn Patton of Everett City, number 98, has been going all night with Kyle Johnson, number 11 of the Oly-Pen Force. Michael Nation now with the ball, about to take it. Whistle goes, gives it over to Landon Kirby. Kirby sends it over to Johnson, who's being guarded by Diego. Diego trying to get the ball. Glenn Patton going to go. Victor Aguilar with the steal. Drilled it way too hard, unfortunately, and it goes high out of play. But what a beautiful steal that was by number 22. 9 minutes and 24 seconds. It has been the most eventful, I would say, so far in this game. Glenn Patton playing deep again. And Eduardo Rocha with the steal. Diego with two men on him. He's being double teamed, able to get through the double team. Continuing forward with Eduardo Rocha. Ball was taken by Alejandro Hernandez. Rocha still playing forward. Michael Nation on a run, unguarded in the back. However, ball is at the wall. Have to give back to the red line, over to Alejandro Hernandez. And a big shot comes here. Gio using his hands to stop it and then quickly wrap it up. Not allowing the attacker, number 31 of Oly-Pen. Absolutely denying a second chance from Pepe De Luna there. Quick header from Fernando. Another header from Michael Nation. Header from Diego. Header from, looks like, number 17. That is Jonathan Mendez, before finally going down to the feet. Jason Fairhurst colliding and tripping with Alejandro Hernandez. It's going to be Oly-Pen's ball. Foul will be called on Jason. Michael Nation now with the ball, gives it back over to Landon Kirby as Manuel Segura goes charging through the middle of the field, trying to find a steal. Michael Nation's unguarded right now at the red line with a strike. Gio absolutely able to get there with one big bear paw. What an outstanding move that was to stop that goal. Gio of Everett City has been on fire. Castillo will not let anything through to Jay. Glenn Patton playing a through ball to the center. Manuel Segura gets it. Ball goes all the way back to Gio at the red line. Edgar Tavares with it, setting up a play. Edgar Tavares being guarded by number 34, Damon McKenna, as it is played into the corner. Glenn Patton picking it up, being heavily defended by Michael Nation. Coming down, Glenn able to get the ball over to Jesus Rodriguez. Jesus giving it to Gio. Gio over to Leo. Leo sends it through to Glenn Patton with Izzy DeLuna, and a shove in the back from Izzy DeLuna. That's going to be an Everett City ball just inside the red line. Jesus Rodriguez going to be the one to take it. Setting the ball down where the ref has instructed. With a quick little dance to confuse the defender, he's able to give it over to Edgar. Back over to him. And it is taken at the line. Looks like it's going out of play on number 11. That is indeed Kyle Johnson. Everett City at the top of the box. Sends it over. One-time strike, little wide from Edgar Tavares. Manuel Segura picks it up, sends it over to Gio. Gio sending it as Cole Jarrett comes running in. Glenn Patton at the wall, picking it up. Leo able to get the ball at the wall. And sent out by Izzy DeLuna. Glenn Patton could not get possession. Ball goes down. Jesus Rodriguez cleans it up. Edgar Tavares with the ball over to Gio. Gio sending it in. Stopped by Izzy DeLuna. Izzy DeLuna able to get back up on his feet with possession of the ball. Now coming down the line is Edgar Tavares and Cole Jarrett. With the cluster of gray jerseys, the ball went wide out over to Gil Navarro, who took a strike. Gio with his absolute magnificent hands, able to keep it out. Manuel Segura with the ball, giving it over to Edgar Tavares. Edgar plays it through his legs over to Gio. Gio scoops it up right as Cole Jarrett gets there. And he slides it over to Edgar. Edgar sends it back to Gio, who sends it over to Diego. Diego charging down the line now. Quick two-time step over. Another goal! That's another goal by Diego! 2 for him on the night. 4-1, 5 minutes left in the third quarter, and Everett City slowly starting to pull this lead away. Look at the absolute masterclass this was. Quick two-time over the ball and getting it to his left foot and striking it deep from the red line. Couldn't have asked for a better goal. Victor Aguilar getting the ball away from both attackers. Falls down, foul will be called. Oly-Pen clearly is upset with that call. However, Victor wondering why he was tripped. Eduardo Rocha is going to be the one to take the ball. Ref setting the ball down. Eduardo Rocha sends it over to Gio Castillo. Gio sends it through to Glenn Patton. Glenn Patton tried to get it through a back touch. Unable to get it. He's at the wall being double teamed. Eduardo Rocha, instead of going to the wall, reads it and plays the ball. Victor Aguilar now with the ball. Vic through the center of the field. He's being charged by number 17, able to get a touch on it. Number 17 is Jonathan Mendoza. Big fight at the wall for the ball. As the ball comes out, Alejandro Hernandez gets it. And a collision between the referee, Eduardo Rocha, and Alejandro Hernandez. Eduardo Rocha is down, holding his leg. Everett City with the ball. Eduardo Rocha still down, and finally the whistle is called. We hope it's just a cramp. 3 minutes and 47 seconds. Both teams have been playing absolutely as fast as they can. It has been lightning down either side of this wall. Score is 4-1 if you are just joining us. Everett City is up. And we'll have possession of the ball when we come out of this injury timeout.
Hey, listen up, listen up. Hey, listen up. So, this is how we set up. Go straight out the ball. These guys come to the feet. Keep this middle area open. And then... Come over here. Come
Vamos!
Ollie Force with possession of the ball. Victor able to get in front of number 36, who is charging down the field. Scott Breeding unable to find an opening. Has to give it back to Michael Nation. Michael Nation gives it over to Pepe De Luna at the wall. Manuel Segura getting in front of what was the shot chance. And Victor Aguilar off the wall, charging downfield. Unfortunately, it was easily wrapped up by Damon McKinnon. Sent in through. Edgar Tavares says no and sends it back to center field. Jason Fairhurst meeting Damon McKenna in the center. Manuel Segura now with possession of the ball through the legs of Damon McKenna. Jason Fairhurst sending the ball back. However, it's going to be a collision between Ollie Force players. Izzy DeLuna and Kyle Johnson meeting at the wall. Michael Nation now with possession, gives it over to Damon McKenna. Sends it over to Johnson in the corner. Sends it back up to McKenna. Tipped up high, looking for a pass. Easily picked up by Manuel Segura. Manuel Segura drilling it across the field and out of the way. Everett quickly subbing as the ball is given over to Landon Kirby. Sent through Alejandro Hernandez. And picked up by Edgar Tavares. Kyle Johnson did not get a touch on it. Sends it through the wall. Over to Jason Fairhurst. Sends it over to Diego. Diego with 2 goals tonight. And Gio picking up the ball. Sends it over to Diego. Alejandro on him immediately. Diego off the wall. Goes off the foot of Michael Nation. Picked up by Edgar Tavares. Sends back over to Gio. Gio able to get a touch on it. Michael Nation charging deep. And Edgar Tavares able to get the ball, send it over to his brother Eduardo. I apologize, Edgar Tavares. Fernando to Edgar. Now Michael Nation coming down the line with Leo Jaramillo on him. Glenn Patton picking up the ball through the center. Sends it back over to Leo. Leo with Alejandro Hernandez on him. Keeping the attacker away. Edgar with the ball. Sends it deep off the wall over to Leo. Leo in stride with the ball through center. Takes a shot. Goal! The 5th goal of the night belongs to Leo Jaramillo, number 15. 5-1. Minute 15 as Everett City's ready to put this game away. Absolutely just inside. It looks like the keeper got a hand on it and just did not have enough power to control it. Quickly headed by Mendoza. Picked up by Gil Navarro. And there's a strike from number 17. Gio had gone down to play the ball, and it's tapped up high by number 17 of Ollie Force. Making it now 5-2 with 1:01 left. Jonathan Mendoza trying to give life back into this team. Jason Fairhurst, here's the whistle, sends it over to Victor Aguilar. Victor Aguilar gives it back to Gio. 2 attackers charging him, DeLuna and Pepe DeLuna. Izzy DeLuna and Pepe were trying to get a steal from Gio, unable to. Manuel Segura getting the ball, plays it off the wall. Jason Fairhurst takes it on the chest, gets a kick, sent way too high, out of play. Goalie kick. Keeper with the ball, sends it deep, touches the roof. He gave too much power under it on trying to get the breakaway. 31 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. .22 seconds left. Everett City want to get a shot off. Ref gets it down. Jesus Rodriguez sends it over. Manuel Segura. Oh, it just wide off the post. Jason Fairhurst with the ball. Gives it over to Jesus Rodriguez. 10 seconds are left on the clock. Everett City want another chance. They want to get this momentum back. Don't want to give anything over to this Ollie Force team. Gio sending it in deep. Gil Navarro touching it. Eduardo Rocha with the ball, chasing it. And that's going to be the end of the 3rd. What an absolutely exhilarating 3rd quarter that was. Starting out with 1-1 and a power play for Everett City. Now it is 5-2. And we are back ready to start this fourth quarter. Score being 5-2. Everett City had most of the momentum through the third. Right at the end, though, there was a goal by Ollie Force. Will Ollie Force continue their momentum going into the fourth, or will it be an Everett? Oh, and take a look at this. A new twist in the plans. A new keeper is in. Michael Nation now wearing a red penny as he's the goalkeeper, but can also play completely forward. A new twist into this mix. Knowing that they have 15 minutes to make up a 3-goal deficit, this is probably the move that they should go with. However, you wonder how well this will pay out for him. As Fernando and Diego playing through the center. Then Tavares with a quick strike there. But Michael Nation able to get it. No foul will be called as Scott was looking for one. It is a corner for Everett City. Leo with the ball. Sends it over to Edgar Tavares. Getting it past DeLuna. And Gil Navarro sending the ball forward. It is McKinnon with a shot, but Fernando was able to get there. Leo with possession of the ball, sending it down deep. Michael Nation with a kick. Send it back to the red line. Gil Navarro sending it through to Izzy DeLuna. Sprint down the field as Gio's able to get there. 3-line penalty will be called, though. However, Gio can get his defenders back to him now. And a timeout is called by Everett City. Michael Nation still playing as the keeper for the Oly-Pen Force team. 13 minutes and 45 seconds. We have only played about a minute and 15 seconds. A quick strike there goes high. Everett now with the ball. Gio picking it up, sliding it over to Edgar Tavares. Edgar sending the ball across over to Gio. Gio kicking it just inside the red line. Michael Nation with the ball. Just able to keep it after it fell out of his hands. Sends it on a deep strike. Did not touch the net. Perfect throw. Glenn Patton with the header to keep it out. Has to be picked up by Scott. Jesus Rodriguez trying to get the steal. Unable to. Everett playing in a defensive position. Currently, however, they are still in an attacking formation of a 2-3. And a strike goes from Michael Nation off the back of Brian Guzman and out of play. Gil Navarro with the ball. Gonna roll it over to Izzy DeLuna. Izzy DeLuna with the strike off the chest to Gil Patton. DeLuna has to send it back over to Michael Nation. Michael Nation sends it back over to DeLuna. And sends across field. It is picked up. Given over to Jarrett. Back over to DeLuna. Over to Johnson. Kyle Johnson getting the ball. Sending it back over to Izzy DeLuna. DeLuna. Across the pitch. Picked up by Cole Jarrett. Off the wall. Set up for number 18. Leo gets a body in front of it. And Glenn Patton with the steal. Big collision and trip by DeLuna and Paladin. A foul will be called. And now Guzman and Gil Navarro are also tangled up, fighting for the ball. It's going to be the Force's ball. Jesus Rodriguez told he has to stand further back. Guzman and Paldea forward. Ball sent across. Picked up by Jarrett. Stolen by Rodriguez. Given to Patton. Patton fighting for possession. Given over to Leo. Leo sends it forward to Brian Guzman. Guzman looking for an opening, playing at the wall. Gil Navarro all over him as he is shoved down. It is going to be a foul on Navarro. City saying that should be their 6th foul. Quick conversation as referees, they do give a blue card. So Everett City will be back up on a power play thanks to fouls. 5-2 with 11:45 to play. They have Michael Nation in as keeper as Landon Kirby started this game as their keeper. They have decided to go with a keeper who will be able to be an extra attacker. Fernando in the corner. Some changes being made as the power play squad comes on for Oly-Pen Force. Glenn Padden in the center with Brian Wetherington defending him. Fernando with the ball. Victor to his right. Giving it over to Victor. Gives it over to Jesus Rodriguez. Sends over to Diego. Could this be the hat trick? Instead, he sends it out over to Victor Aguilar. Victor sends it back over to Diego. Diego getting the ball. Sending it on through play. And just too much power on it for Fernando Tavares. 1 minute and 35 seconds still on the power play. Michael Nation sends the ball over to Cole Jarrett. Diego and Aguilar both trying to find a steal there. However, Alejandro Hernandez with a chance. Boom! What a strike that was, but Gio stopping it easily. And a quick bodying play from Alejandro Hernandez as he shoves Fernando to the ground. Continuing to play after the whistle. That is a foul. Izzy DeLuna thinks that should be 6 fouls for City. Also checking. And indeed, it will be the 6th foul. That is a power play now for both teams. So a minute left where it will be 4-on-4 play. Everett saying it should be a drop ball, seeing as it was a foul at the wall and a power play, where it is 4-on-4 instead of a man up. Referees are saying instead they will be giving the ball to Oly-Pen Force, so it will be 4-on-4 play. Oly-Pen Force with the ball. Izzy DeLuna looking to take the ball, communicating with Alejandro Hernandez. Michael Nation steps up to the red line. Izzy DeLuna doesn't take it. Alejandro does off the strike. Victor Aguilar sends it high. And unfortunately, Gio is unable to get it as off the rebound. It's a goal for Oly-Pen Force. So it is now 5-3, ending the Everett City power play. As it was indeed Cole Jarrett, number 4 for Oly-Pen Force to get the goal. Everett City still up on their power play for another 54 seconds. So Everett City will now be up a man for 54 more seconds. The score is 5-3. This has become quite the offensive game, whereas in the first half, it was quite the defensive one. Edgar gives the ball over to Diego. Sends it back over to Edgar. Sends it down to Diego in the corner. Double team on him. Glenn Padden lets the ball go on a through play, but Cole Jarrett able to pick it up. Not being able to get the ball over to Diego. 4 City players come back as 2 Force go forward. Quick kick out of play by number 9. Diego has to send the ball high. It's going to be a corner. Izzy DeLuna at the corner will be taking it. There is only a few more seconds left in the power play. Luna gives it over to Alejandro Hernandez. Hernandez taking a strike off the wall and picked up by Diego. Diego through the center. Gives the ball over to Jesus Rodriguez. Charging down the line to the corner. He sends it back over to Glenn Patton. Glenn be able to get the ball over to Edgar Tavares. Over to Diego on a through play. Back over to Jesus. Jesus Rodriguez. 3 defenders in the area. Gets the ball across over to the chest of Diego. Diego gets it over to Victor Aguilar. Sends it back over to Gio. And that is a quick steal from DeLuna. DeLuna with the chance. And DeLuna scores! Izzy DeLuna of Oly-Pen Force. They are making an absolute game of this as it is now 5-4 with 9:18 still to play. Everett City losing form quickly for some reason. And a timeout has been called by Everett. Taking a look at this goal, what an absolute steal that was from DeLuna, and the through ball able to play. It's just one-on-one with the keeper. Gio slides down trying to stop it. However, it was just wide enough to get past the keeper and just inside enough to stay within the post. That's going to be a tough goal for Gio to swallow. He'll have to shake it off, though, as we are still with a 1-goal lead, but way too much time left on the clock. Michael Nation still staying in goal for Oly-Pen Force as they have come back into making a game of this. So momentum clearly swinging with Oly-Pen Force. Jason Fairhurst taking the ball at center. Here's the whistle. Gives it over to Leo Jaramillo. Leo already being defended by Alejandro Hernandez. Leo and Gio trying to find the opening. Sent into the corner just inside the red line. No 3-line penalty. Big collision at the wall. Michael Nation almost steps out of the box. And Leo able to pick it up in his own defensive corner. Alejandro Hernandez shoves him into the wall. It should be a blue call for a shove. However, they're going to say that it was not that bad of a call. Instead, the foul will be given. However, no power play. Gio able to get the ball, sends it forward. Eduardo Rocha shoved to the ground. Big shove by number 31, Pepe DeLuna. City now with the ball. Gio calling a man forward. Sends it over to Eduardo Rocha. Ball gets a bad touch, goes high. Eduardo Rocha has to fight for it. Izzy DeLuna able to pick it up as he's being two-man. He's got a double team on him. They were able to get it over to their man, Michael Nation, in goal. And now Oly-Pen Force with the ball. Izzy DeLuna down inside the box. He's already not only been the league's Golden Boot winner, but already made a major impact in their comeback so far this time tonight. Scott currently with the ball. Fairhurst in front of him. Michael Nation with possession at the center. Sent through Izzy DeLuna over to number 17, Jonathan Mendoza. Jason Fairhurst with the ball, charging down the line as he's got Burbridge on him. Able to give it over to Rocha. Over to Jaramillo. Back over to Rocha. Jaramillo coming off for the sub. Gio now with possession of the ball. Sending it over to Victor Aguilar. Gio sending it deep. They want a 3-line penalty on the bench of Oly Force. Everett Gio thought he was just inside the red line. Turns out he was just outside of it. Jarrett goes in, hitting the post. Quick strike off the back of Victor Aguilar and out of play. They'll reset. Alejandro Hernandez taking the shot there. Izzy DeLuna now with the ball. Two-man wall. Gaparam Singh and Jesus Rodriguez. Deep strike, and he's just tied the game. Izzy DeLuna has tied the game for Everett City versus Oly-Pen Force. Deep implications in this game as winner goes on to face Tacoma in Tacoma next week. Everything on the line. City needs to find a way to get themselves back into this game. Glenn Patton with the ball in the center. Everett City have to find out what worked for them in the third and bring it back as the ball goes too high and out of play from Edgar Tavares. Michael Nation with possession of the ball. Sends it deep. Alejandro Hernandez picking it up. Falls at the wall, no foul called. And Diego charging down, unable to get it. Tried to get around Glenn Navarro, wasn't able to. Glenn Navarro off his chest, able to get the ball out. Leo Jaramillo picking it up, not allowing Cole Jarrett to get the ball. Gio Castillo sending it through, off the wall. Fernando Tavares with the ball, sends it back up to Leo Jaramillo. Leo over to Edgar Tavares. Edgar sending it through. Glenn Patton back over. Oh, and what a chance. Almost an own goal and out of play. It should be Everett City's ball. It is. Rodriguez gives it over to Manuel Segura. Segura sending it over to Tavares. Tavares over to Rodriguez. Rodriguez looking for a man. Goes in, sends it back over to Jaramillo. Jaramillo over to Segura. Segura over to Gio. Gio gives it over to Tavares. Sends it across to Manuel Segura. Sent inside to Jaramillo. Unfortunately, there was a touch from number 37, giving the ball over to Hernandez, who takes a shot. Gio able to get down. Fairhurst with it, and a shove. Big collision. However, it was not in the back, and therefore no foul will be called. Ball rolling down the line. Going to be picked up by Johnson. Johnson sends over to Nation. Nation looking for a man. Sends it through center. Pepe DeLuna with the ball. Getting it over. Jason Fairhurst with a header. Over to Manuel Segura. Manuel Segura beating the double team. Sending it back up to Jaramillo. Jaramillo over to Tavares. Edgar Tavares with the ball. Sends it off the wall over to Gaparam Singh. Gaparam able to get the ball back over to Leo. Leo over to Gio. Gio back over to Leo. Leo, deep strike, just a little high. Would have been an absolutely electrifying goal if it had gone in. Everett clearly having the attacking prowess they are looking for as there is 4 minutes left in the game. Tied 5-5 in the fourth. Fernando off the wall, over to Rocha. Fernando with the ball, tripped up inside. No foul is called. Clearly was a big foul on Johnson. Not going to be called. Clearly stopping what could have been a scoring play. Everett City maintaining possession of the ball. Rocha able to give it into Guzman. Brian Guzman at the wall with Johnson on him. He's now being double teamed with Burbridge. Gaparam trying to get the ball, unable to. Goes out and is picked up by Rocha. Fans of City chanting as loud as they can, getting their team back into this game. Bad touch by Gaparam, and he is fouled for a shove. It was quite a light shove, and none of the City fans are happy about it. Textbook as it is, that will be a foul, light or not. Michael Nation coming forward to play the ball, sending out Gil Navarro. Sent through the center, over to Burbridge. Mendoza with the ball, gives it to Scott, back over to Mendoza. Mendoza trying. Navarro picking up the ball through center. Burbridge with possession. Sends it across over to Scott. Scott sends it back to Nation. Nation looking, sends it deep just inside the red line. Too high, and it hits the net. Everett City are running back with 2 minutes and 34 seconds. And given over to Fernando Tavares on a deep throw from Gio. Victor Aguilar with the ball. Sends it over to Eduardo Rocha. Back over to Fernando Tavares. Back to Eduardo Rocha. Rocha sending over to Gio. Gio kicking it in over to Tavares. Fernando. Slide by Burbridge. Unable to get anything as Diego has the ball. Diego coming in through the two-man defensive unable to get it. It looks like Victor Aguilar fighting for it with DeLuna. Izzy DeLuna comes away with it though. So Oly-Pen force coming with double teams on any ball carrier. Minute 51 left. Tied game, 5-5. The stakes absolutely too high. 3-line penalty being called from on Michael Nation. Everett quickly subbing. Ball coming up to the red line. Ref puts it down. Jesus Rodriguez with ball. Looking for someone. Gives it over to Fernando. Off the wall. And Gil Navarro able to clear it. Big foul. And a fall on Jarrett. Jarrett falls down trying to draw a penalty, unable to get it. Jason Fairhurst with the ball gives it back over to Fernando Tavares. Fernando sending it over to Rodriguez. Fernando did have the game winner with a minute left inside that Bellingham United comeback. This Everett City team is built for big moments as Rodriguez tries to play it off the wall, unable to get it through. Alejandro Hernandez collides with Edgar Tavares. Edgar not letting him through. Sends the ball deep and wide and out of play. Just had to give their team a second to get in defensive formation. 1 minute, 2 seconds left. 5-5 is the score. The wall is stepping back. 3-man wall. DeLuna with the ball. And Ollie will call a timeout. 59 seconds left. We'll be right back.
Hey, listen up. Hey, listen up. So, this out set up. Go straight out the ball. These guys coming deep. Keep this middle area open. And then.
Vamos! Vamos! There we go. Sí, sí.
Everett City getting back in formation for the wall. A minute, 2 seconds left is going to be on the clock due to the timeout. It is tense and quiet inside of this arena. DeLuna with the ball. Whistle comes. And the goal for Ollie Force comes. 57 seconds. DeLuna setting up the play as the goal goes in by Gil Navarro. 6-5. City is down. Another timeout will be called. 57 seconds left. The entire season is on the line. What can this City team do to make a comeback and force the overtime? If you're a City fan, you're wondering how close your tissue box is to you right now, as the dominance of these boys could be at jeopardy to a 4-6 team. The number 6 seed, Ollie Force, is ahead by 1 goal, led by the comeback of their Golden Boot winner, Izzy DeLuna. Gurparam Singh, Jason Fairhurst, Emmanuel Segura, Fernando Tavares, and Diego Alvarado. All forwards and midfielders. Gio playing at the red line. Gio taking the ball over to Emmanuel Segura. Segura to Tavares. Tavares to Diego Alvarado. Tavares Castillo. To Tavares. Strike, centered. Sing. Segura high. 32 seconds. What an absolute wonderful stand from the secondary keeper, Michael Nation, as he takes the ball now. Sending it on a deep pass. Tavares gets the header. Raparum off the wall. Diego shoved in the back, no foul. 18 seconds left. And a foul at the wall. 12 seconds. Raparum from Gio. Sent forward. Alejandro Hernandez picks it up. 5 seconds. And it will be so. A foul at the wall. Gil Navarro is down. 1.4 seconds. And the waterworks will start inside this arena. The beautiful dream that has been getting back to the finals for this city team could end here with a single touch. And the game has come to an end as the visiting team, the number 6 seed, will move on to face Tacoma Stars reserves. The visiting fans are elated, and the home ones are distraught. It's been an absolute wonderful season, but the dream ends here. DeLuna clearly the man of the match, leading back his team with the comeback, as Kirby sat the entire fourth quarter. We thank you for joining us on this magical ride of this season, and we will see you back here in November. It has been a joy to be with you on this journey, and we will keep our heads high for our 7-3 season. Thank you and goodbye from the Everett City team till next year. We will be back.